3, 2, 1, go. Right. So go ahead and do 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Good luck.
All right. So got Cortex screaming here at the beginning of the run. So I'll get into like the 100% requirements at some point, but we're just going to hop into level 2 to start out with. Sliding is the fastest form of movement in this game, and when you let go of the movement button, or like the movement direction, and then click spin, you keep your sliding speed, and that's called a neutral slide spin, and you're going to see me doing that right now. It's like basically the fastest form of movement in the game, and we're basically like chaining those to the end of the level. Next coming up is already a skip. We're going to be doing something called the red jump early, which requires doing something called a glitch high jump, which if you do a slide jump into a spin immediately, you get extra height, and that way just allows you to just grab this red gem early, which you're supposed to come back for later. Went a little bit too far. I was trying to get that. Thankfully it's not too bad of a death already. Already a fantastic start. All right, so we got these bonus rounds. We need them all. So 100% pretty much. We're just be going through every level, breaking every box as fast as we can. So that's just the best way to do that. Do a little platform stick there. And breaking every box. All right, back here is a nitro detonator, which breaks all those green boxes from earlier. As saw from my damage abuse earlier, those hurt you whenever you touch them. Just gonna go ahead over here, let this box come down. And the pink crystal that I obtained is basically like the game's like form of like normal progression item. You need them all to access like the normal ending of the game. And they're always just like on the path. So there's like the main collectible, and then you have every level will have a gray gem or clear gem, whatever you want to call them, which is used for getting boxes, getting every box in every level. And a lot of levels have bonus gems. This one had the red gem. So the colored gems unlock different paths. This next level has the blue gem in it. So that's 2 out of the 5 color gems already. And that's what we're going to be doing. Now you're going to see me at the beginning here. I'll be skipping the boxes. So in order to get the blue gem, you actually have to break 0 boxes at the end of the level. So we're just going to go ahead and go through here. This is really just a mix of neutral slide spins, or NSS for short. I'll be shortening it to that. Slide jumps and such. We want to be on the ground as much as possible. I'm stuck in the train here. So you have to break any box here. Lose a lot of time. Right, I'm glad I didn't slide there, because I actually would have like slid through the ground. We have our crystal again. We don't need that right now. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to grab this blue gem and we're going to death abuse. You're going to see this all the time throughout the run, because when you die, you keep your items. You see in my bottom HUD, you keep the blue gem. And we're going to actually be breaking the boxes this time. This basically means we don't have to go back to the warp room, throw up the blue gem, and come back. We can just grab everything in one go. Alright, so coming up on the secret section here, we're going to body slam. Some things are going to require body slams to break. Just going to try and walk in here. Gotta make up for that death and snow go. So there's going to be quite a few mistakes. This run is extremely difficult. The movement is very skill intensive. That was very good though. Nice detonator. I land on the platform. Right. Something you'll see me do a little bit of is a glitch low jump, which is basically the same as a glitch high jump, except as the opposite. Instead of doing a spin after a crouch jump, you're going to be basically pressing spin and jump at the same time. Or maybe spin a little bit before if you want to guarantee. Sliding from high ledges lets you like slide for longer, extending the slide, making it a little bit faster. Break every box. The routing for this game, there's 5 warp rooms, and there's 5 levels per warp room, and you have to do them all in order to access the next one. The order you do them in does not matter too much. We do some things mostly based off of the color gems you'll see later, and then some other things kind of require certain attributes. Like Warp 4 has a pretty interesting route, but we'll get there a lot later. Alright, so that was Turtle Woods. That wasn't too bad. Much better than Snow Go, at least. Alright. So we got Crash Dash here. This made our first boulder chase level. These are pretty infamous in the Crash trilogy. However, with our new sliding speed tech, we're basically going to make this boulder a joke. And we're just going to skip everything, pretty much. Going along here, like we go so fast, we can really go over some pits like that. Send some slides here. And coming up here is actually, this time does not matter, or I don't really lose time here, because I need to wait for this boulder, because there's going to be some nitro crates up here. And there's no nitro detonator in this level, because they expect you to be right next to the boulder and that it breaks. And the one thing you'll notice about this game is that pretty much as soon as boxes are off screen, they deload, push those nitros. So I got to make sure those break. This bonus is pretty tough. I'm gonna try not die here. Alright, that was a little slow, but we did it. Alright, so basically if you spin on top of boxes, instead of doing a bounce, you can pretty much just like stand on it. And then like it will break, so you can do extra you can do a spin jump off of it and speed up some stuff. Usually those bouncy crates, you have to bounce on it 10 times before it breaks. This time is not. Alright, I kinda need that box. Alright. That's fine. Okay. So that's Crash. That one didn't have an extra gem in it. The baseline just one crystal, one gem. And next up we're going to be a Hang 8. This extra gem in here is a timer gem. So after the first checkpoint there's going to be a timer and we got to get to the end in time. I usually do a scrap where I do the bonus round first because the timer's pretty generous. Okay. Did not get the direction I wanted. It's fine. The timer resets. But I'll be doing the bonus in the second part because we'll be going back, getting the box gem. We can't get all of them in one go. We can get most of them now. So here. If I don't break this box correctly, that should be fine. I hope. That's a little bit farther to the right than I wanted, or farther to the left rather. I'm feeling a little bit, slight little bit of input delay than I'm used to, but that's probably my own fault with my controller. Alright. It's fine. You see, we have plenty of time to get this. Home of Truth. Hopefully the game doesn't soft lock here. That'd be kind of bad. Alright, good. Alright, so whenever you die, the cycles reset. And usually these games run on something called the global cycles, where it basically from boot, they're always running no matter what level you're in. But they reboot on death. Now I already made too many mistakes, so I probably won't be able to make the cycle I want. But typically, if you see me death abuse and it's not related to grabbing an item, or sometimes like as a combo of both, I'm also resetting the cycle so I know what I'm looking at. This section is pretty tough. So this cycle itself is a lot tougher than what I normally do. So I do spin bounces here because it's faster than doing a normal bounce. Let's see what our cycle is looking like here. It's pretty bad. I'm literally just gonna play this as safe as I can. So we have, the jet board is pretty much hold forward and boost, but this part could be a little technical. All right. You see, we needed the blue gem in order to even access that area, so it was very important that we did level 1 for level 3 for that reason. It doesn't show up too much where we need like color gems before we access those areas, but it does happen. Get to the end of the level here. Break these boxes. Some platforms you can slide onto like that, some of them you can't. So that is one that you can. Alright. So next up we have the pits. That's basically the Turtle Woods again, but we don't have to play it twice because this level is a decent bit longer. I guess I'll have this time to talk about masks. If you're familiar with this game, you know about the Aku Aku masks. They give you an extra hit point. We're about to get one right now. There's like his normal colors. When you get a second one, his feathers turn yellow and orange, so kind of like gold. And then if you get 3, you get invincibility. So you're supposed to be able to run faster and then also not be able to die from anything that isn't a pit. We do not want invincibility at all in this game because it makes you go a lot slower with your NSS, so we're going to be avoiding it at all costs, except for one exception, which I'll get to later. For the most part, we're going to be using these masks to death of use instead of setting up for triple. If you like invincibility masks, you should definitely check out Crash 3, because the invincibility speed is quite good in that game. In this, it's only used in one scenario. Makes it pretty lax in some ways, but overall. So this level has separate paths to maximize our time. We're just gonna go through this specific route. I was doing a bunch of bird boosts there. If you spin on the backside of a bird, it like pushes you forward. It's pretty cool. Pretty small, time-save stuff. This bonus is a little rough. Those reinforced crates at the bottom need to be body slammed through. Okay, hit that switch crate, activate these boxes. Alright, good. And that's basically the end of Warp 1 here. So there's 5 warp rooms. There's 25 normal levels. There's a couple secret levels. So there's an entire secret warp room with 5 secret exits that lead to it. Those are required for 100% completion. So even though we're not only going to be using a couple of them, we still have to unlock them, and that will be important later. But now we're heading to our first boss, which is Ripperoo. Pretty much an auto-scroller, so I'll just take this time to talk about a little bit more of like the nuance in controlling this game. Oh, whoops. So a main staple of the OG Trash trilogy is something called zigzagging. So without getting super complicated because we don't have a lot of time, if you want to go straight, you alternate up left and up right rapidly while sliding and or jumping, and it makes Crash go just a little bit farther. And I'm doing that basically all the time. When I'm doing neutral slide spins, I'm wiggling my stick a little bit forward, letting go, and then pressing spin rapidly. And it definitely hurts a little bit, but not as bad because I'm playing on analog for this. This game has a special calibration that I'm playing on that basically it reduces like the range that you have to move the stick in order to get max range. And analog diagonals are just faster than D-pad, so it basically moves you a lot faster. But the problem is it's much harder to control. The range, like basically I move the stick a little bit and Crash is going at full speed. So there's a trade-off there. So that's probably why things are much more scary. Everything about this game can be scary with those control schemes, especially in a situation where I'm not in the setup that I'm normally at. So I'm trying my best. All right, that's basically Ripperoo for you. That could have been a lot worse of a Warp 1, to be honest. But it only gets a lot harder from here. Next up, we're going to go to level 6, which is Snowbiz. It requires the red gem, and usually, as said, red gem we got way earlier than intended. Usually it's supposed to come from the next secret exit and come back, but because we grabbed the red gem early, we can do Snowgo at the beginning of, or Snowbiz at the beginning of this section. This is a lot of people's favorite level. It has a really cool section with the red gem that I'm probably just going to shut up for and see if I can try and do it justice. It's coming up very shortly. I want to try and keep this mask as long as possible because I can use it for a damage reduce in the bonus. Yeah, now I'm just gonna try and walk in here. Oh, wow. I'm just gonna wait. I'm not gonna risk it. Alright, that was almost really good. I just got hit by the icicle, which I'm not used to doing, but I didn't die. That's good. Just gotta get to this next checkpoint. Played this part a little safe. Yep. Alright, that's one of my favorite movement sections right there, doing a slide to spin off the box that we're bouncing when we get to the checkpoint. Alright, with the bonus. Because I don't have a mask, that's fine actually. I'm so used to using a mask there that the backup is it's pretty cool too, so might as well show it off. Alright. Shouts to Papa Sneck for teaching me that, and teaching me a lot about this game actually. One of the goats for sure. Alright, so these platforms here, these rolling stones, are actually one of the only things in this game that run on a local cycle, so those load in as soon as you get to this area, instead of being global, which is pretty neat. Alright, that was a pretty good Snowbiz. I had to take a little bit of a break in red gem, but at least I got through unscathed, which is good. You can lose a lot of time there. Alright, next level up here is Barrett. It's be a first auto-scroller, kinda, with the bear. The controls here are pretty simple. You can charge, you can jump, and the best thing to do is to spam both because it makes the cooldown on charge a lot shorter. Because usually, like if you just do a charge on the ground, you have to wait a little bit. If you jump, you can do it as soon as you land. After I grab these boxes, I'll explain something else. So there's something neat about this running this game is that it's actually played on the PAL version, which usually these older games you wouldn't really see the lower frame rate. But basically the devs very much overcompensated for Crash's movement in going to PAL. So he moves much faster, jumps much higher, and his body slam is much bigger. And it's such a big difference that like you do not run on NTSC in this game. It is recommended that to run an emulator for PAL instead of running on console with NTSC, despite the fact that emulator loses several minutes. Alright. And because of that, they didn't move a couple of these boxes for the new speed. So hopefully I can grab these. Alright, got them. Alright. That is much harder than it looks. They did not move those boxes a little bit closer, considering how much faster you move. So that's actually like a run killer for most people. If you don't spend the time to practice it. I'm really glad I didn't mess that up. So I've been pretty consistent with that in my practice for this game. And I was really worried that like the one time it's not going to work is going to be in the run. Alright, so that's the bear level. That's pretty simple. Alright, next up we have Crash Crush, which is another one of those boulder chase levels. A little bit harder this time. something called a wall boost, which you go a lot faster on when you like slide up against walls in some particular levels. Not super important, but I will use that to my advantage here. Those electric gates don't really pose a threat in this level, but they do in some other levels. This game's very weird. Alright. Go ahead and slide through here. Once again, this part, it doesn't really matter how fast I go because I have to wait for these nitros. And if I don't see them break, they do not get broke. So I gotta make sure I see them break in order for them to actually count. Same here, more nitros. So we're kind of bottleneck fire speed there. Which is good for me because I'm not as fast as you really can be there. So it's really funny to just like wait there for a super long time. This is one of my favorite bonuses. It's pretty satisfying. Because if you slide through boxes, you can break a ton at once, and this one just kind of like the whole stack, except for that one apparently. Fun fact: if you don't hold down on this bonus platform, the walls in this next section of the level do not load. As I said, this game is built with like sticks and like tree sap. It's pretty funny. And this level here. So they give you these, so they give you plenty of time to do a reinforced crate break. But we're so far ahead, you can't even really see the boulder. It's pretty humorous. Gotta wait a little bit here for the gem to drop on me and spawn. And that's Crash Crush. Right. Our next level has our our third out of 5 color gems. This is gonna be the green gem. One of my favorite types of levels in this game are the sewer levels. They have one banger music. They have a lot of pretty cool movement, but it's hard. The hint for the green gem is this like, why is there so many nitros back here when it's not really a problem? Oh, cool. Alright, so I went fast enough in this section where the water deloads. Usually we have the eel that makes the things damaging. Oh my god. Okay. My spin did not come out, so I gotta read the whole section again. That's fine. That's happened in one of my my other runs as well. Although for a different reason. Alright, well, we're gonna show it off again. I think it's show it off what happens when you don't have it happen. Alright. See, the water spawns. I'm just gonna wait. Alright, that's definitely a little unfortunate, but I'll try and clutch up for the rest of this part. There's a cycle I'm like pseudo trying to catch. I can barely get my own runs at all, so I'm not really expecting it here. But I died, so the cycle has now been reset, and now I know what I'm doing. Alright, made that good. This bonus has a lot of zigzag. You can try and do that jump, but if you don't do a lot of zigzag, then you won't make it, promise me. Alright, I promise you that's what happens. It's definitely a good showcase of like just how impactful zigzag can be. Alright, well, I lost my mask due to a dropped or delayed input, which is pretty neat, but I'm just gonna play this part safe. Try and go for there's a glitch high you can do there to like skip the beginning part of the hangrails. Actually pretty decent cycle here though, I'll take it. Alright. I'm I'm just gonna wait for these guys to go down. You can go to the left of those guys. Their hitboxes are pretty big. This game's pretty weird when it comes to hitboxes. Some characters' hitboxes are really small, like much smaller than you would think, but some are a lot larger. All right. Our final level in this warp room is Air Crash. This is a super interesting level because it's the only one that we have to do twice. Because there's a secret entrance here that gives you more boxes that you can't normally get. And I got a wrong way slide there. If you slide too soon, then you just keep sliding in the direction that you're facing instead of the one that you wanted. I was saying, yeah, so there's a secret entrance here that takes you to more boxes, so you can't get the box done the first time, so you have to come back later. If I mess up this right here, I'll have to do a little bit of a reroute, which kind of blows, but it is what it is. Alright. I'm gonna wait. Even though I knew it was fine, but I don't trust my controller right now. Yeah, so this game is being played on PS2 at fast disk speed for faster load times, but the PS2 is not allergic to dropping all of your inputs. See, it's very hard to just go like straight in this game sometimes, just because you're like trying to go straight but not like super straight if you're trying to go fast with a zigzag. Alright, can't do Swagmaster, I guess. So let's try to call it Swagmaster 420 there, where if you like glitch high in a specific spot, you can like die in like that like warp room area, like the tunnel. I'm just not gonna waste more time on it. Just gonna go ahead and get to the secret exit there. That's the reason why I didn't get that checkpoint, is so there's a secret exit there. So we couldn't have even gotten the buck shim anyway, even if we could. But that takes us to Snowgo. So this is where you're supposed to get the red gem if you were playing casually, but you know, we skipped it earlier, so we don't need to go through here. But as I said, we need to unlock it in order to get a percentage towards 100%. So we need to. And it works out because we need to go, since we need to do that, we need to go up through the tunnel, or through the elevator, and we need to go back up again for the next boss anyway. So it just like it works out. That's like why the routing works this way. The other Warp 2 levels is not super important. This boss, I'm not very good at it. I kind of like forgot the way of doing it. Alright, I already messed up. If you hit it like the right way, he doesn't have to bounce across the walls. But basically fat guy spins the spinny guy, and then once he's done, you hit him back. That's the whole thing. That's clearly the whole fight. There are ways to maximize it. Yeah, it's going to be a cycle I'm unfamiliar with. If you do this right, then you have him spin for the minimum amount of time, not bounce up against any walls, but I kind of forgot how to do it. So I'm not too great at this game in general, if you can already tell, but I really do enjoy it. Really enjoy watching high-level runs. I very much recommend you watching the world record or the TAS. Like both of those are extremely entertaining, especially the TAS. There's a lot of stuff that you can't do with Inhuman Zigzag. Alright, that's Warp Room 2, not too bad outside of Eel Deal, I would say. Alright. So we got point food. I'm going to do a safe strat here. So this level has the yellow gem in it, which is our fourth color gem. Basically, it works the exact same as the timer gem from Hang 8, where basically we have to get to the end levels in a specific time. But they give you such a generous time that you can get basically all the boxes until the last checkpoint and grab the gem. I'm going to be doing something here in the bonus just to give myself a little bit more time so I don't lose additional seconds. So if you die in the bonus, you actually, what am I doing? Why didn't I grab that? Alright, so I die in the bonus. The timer respawns. I'm actually just going to go ahead and break these. I don't know why. I haven't done this strat in a while. It's kind of a beginner strat, but it's for safety. because it gives you plenty of time. Alright, thank goodness. This plays a little safe here. Alright, because I got hit there. We gotta go there and kill these guys first. Alright, now I gotta book it. I kind of played those TNTs I should have broke earlier instead of a little bit less time. This should be still plenty. Alright, here we go. Alright, the plant food tunnel has some really weird properties where sometimes you crouch, you know you're still crouching. Similar to collision, without crash checks. Alright, so we can just kind of go here, and break these boxes and get to the end. Once again, the cycle reset, so it's kind of weird because this is not like normally how you do the level where you kill those guys first. Usually you kill the plant guys after the respawn. So I have no clue what the cycle is going to look like in this next level, but oh boy, this next level is definitely a doozy. It's Road to Ruin. This is a level that you're usually intended to revisit to get all the boxes, but we're going to do some movement at the beginning of this level to basically avoid that. So this level overall is just pretty difficult. So we're going to go on the background here. We're not supposed to be here right now. We're supposed to be going here from a secret exit. Or secret entrance, rather. Alright, 32 boxes, good. And we basically skip having to do the revisit. It was pretty sick. As I said, we only have one level that we have to revisit. Because out of the secret entrances, there's 2 secret levels that only have secret gems, or box gems. And then there's 3 like revisit levels. One's for the red gem, which we already got, and one is to skip this. So, like, we didn't go on that death route platform. I guess I didn't really explain the death route platform earlier. But basically, those go away if you die, and they usually house a gem. That one I completely just skipped by doing a huge jump with zigzag and a glitch high. It's pretty hard. Analog makes it a lot easier, but I said Analog has its own pros and cons to it. This bonus, you're usually intended to break all these switch crates, but we're just going to do the same thing again. We're just going to do just a giant jump over. It's pretty handy. Alright. Assuming no more mistakes here, this will be a pretty good road to ruin. I want to keep this mask as much as possible. Perfect. That's a really hard level. I'm really glad to have gotten that without any major mistakes. Alright, next level up is another sewer level. This is pretty much this is the gimmick one. Sewer later. We're doing a lot of damage abuses if I can help it. And this also has the yellow gem path, so we need the yellow gem from earlier to get here. So these guys up here, these welder guys, their flame is huge. So there's not really any hope of skipping it. Alright, I'm going to just go down here, hit that checkpoint, but we want to keep that mask. See, and because they put the gem at the very beginning of this section, we just grab it and die, and we don't need to do the rest of it. I'm going to try and skip the fire here. I did it, okay, surprising. So I managed to skip the fire there. As those hitboxes are massive. So, because I did that, I can use the mask here instead to break a bunch of nitro crates. So that saves a lot of time, which is good. Alright, trying to do a trick here called 3 blades. So there's these spinning blades up here. And I could be a magician if I get this right and just clip right on through. Without getting hit. did not. Alright, I did the slide anyway. We can skip through. We can go through 2. It's fine. Alright, this last part of this level is just a lot of welder guys. Alright, I think I killed that guy. Okay, one more mask to use. There's 2 more welder guys, so I'm going to try and go underneath. I'm going to try and juke this other one. There we go. Just go right into his legs. He doesn't know what to do. This guy is really hard to avoid, so we need the mask for him. We'd much rather use it there than waiting on the other guy. Alright, pretty good sewer leader as well. This is a pretty decent Warp 5, or not Warp 5, Warp 3 so far. Alright, next up we have our final chase level. This is going to be unbearable. This one is unique out of the chase levels because instead of having a giant boulder, it has a giant polar bear chasing us. That is even slower. I don't know if it's actually slower. I just know that like these sections are a lot longer. So he's already gone. Pretty much. It is safe as usual. Hits. All right. Way too long. That's fine. Just had to say something. Yeah, so the gates in this level, if you spin near them, you die. I should have just gone to go try anyway. Alright, that's fine. So we're going up here. There's a secret, not a secret exit, but just a secret area. You're supposed to wait for the bear to break these planks up here. Because he has a suspicious amount left. We have to die here because we don't want to wait on him to break those, obviously. So we go to the secret exit. This part's pretty cool. Try and do it to test my abilities as well. The one part of this level is there's a lot of zigzag in that area, and it's very easy to slip off of the stick with your thumb when you're doing all that zigzagging. So I had to readjust there. That was pretty good though. So we're actually going to use this mask right now, because something I didn't mention earlier is that the chase levels actually take your masks away when you enter them, except for this. This one you're allowed to have in the bonus section, so they let you have it. If you had a mask right there at the start of this section, as soon as the bear starts moving, on-rock you guys, and you can't use them anymore. So we kind of put the chase segments in those areas where we would have a lot of masks. To try and get rid of them, because we never really want to reach 3, and most likely we don't really have a fear of reaching 3 with the current route. Also, this part's pretty neat. The final section of this level is riding the polar bear against the giant polar bear. This is always one of my favorite sections as a kid. Alright, now we've officially entered the bear section of the run. So this has another secret exit. We want to go back here and go say hi to Polar, because he's chilling over here and he's got this to a new area. So this is our second out of 5 secret exits. This exit takes you to the first secret level, which is totally bare. It's just level 26. So these aren't required for normal completion, but for 100% we need to do them. And they only have a box gem, no crystal for that reason. This bear level is completely in the dark. However, it's probably my favorite one, to be honest, because once you get it down, you can do a lot of charge jumps here. Although I'm trying to play safe as I can. These bear levels might just seem like auto-scrollers. They're definitely a lot easier in the hands, but there's a lot of... you can definitely go faster or slower. And dying in these levels have pretty long death animations. So depending on when you die, you have a fear of losing 20-25 seconds. Just kind of play this a little safe, make sure you can actually input things properly. So yeah, this level's pretty fun. Oh my goodness, that's my first time doing that. Okay, yeah, see, like we have to wait quite a while. Speed up now. You see, like the movement in PAL makes things a bit harder to grab those boxes that are in a row. You're just not a problem, that's okay. And when we exit here, it's going to take us right back to Unbearable. You cannot like go back to the warp room that easily. You have to just go through another secret exit to get there. They fixed that in the remakes for this game, which I should mention. The remakes are pretty different. The like movement physics are way off. I guess I shouldn't say off because it's just a preference thing, but a lot of people, including myself, definitely prefer the original games in terms of feel. So we have another bear level. If you like the last one so much, then here you go. It's probably my least favorite one. The movement here would be a little bit awkward, but you know, it is what it is. Should do more charge jumps. Alright, I'm prone to missing these boxes over here. Alright, got those. Good. Alright, that makes up for the totally bear at least. That's not usually what happens. Here are nice charge jumps. So this is a nice break on the hands for the run, but it's definitely not one you can just like fall asleep at the wheel. You can just, you know, 20 seconds is quite a long time. Right, more slidey boxes, good. Alright. Pretty, usually it's like I do a good totally bear and I mess up this level, so pretty strange to have it the other way around, but I'll take it. You might have noticed, but we have another secret exit. It's probably the one most people find first. And it's the last one in the warp room. Last level of the warp room rather, because we're going to air crash our second entrance. So we're doing cleanup now, because there's only one bit of cleanup we have to do. So after this, we'll have warp 1, 2, and 3 completed. So we have to get the box gem here. So we have this other path. You know, in Road to Ruin, we could just like, you know, jump on the scenery to make it to where you're supposed to be, because they kind of like tease you with where the other boxes were. This level, it's just a completely different loading zone, and there's just no way to go around doing that. Alright, just gonna try and break these boxes. Good. Alright, and then the nitro detonator is here as well. Alright, so now we're just going through the beginning of the level again. Now we break every box. Yep. It's a little awkward then. The jetboard can be a little finicky to control, but it's not too bad, of course. You can see the nitros aren't here, so we have less of a trouble here. There's something I've definitely done before, but I didn't like really talk about is that you can spin bounce TNTs. Usually you have to bounce on them. Spinning them breaks them, which is what just happened there. But if you spin bounce on them, you can break them instantly without taking fear of damage, which is good. Alright, that was good that I didn't go. So these are on global cycles. So if you don't play the same way every time, then you don't know where they are. Alright, so there's some boxes right here, but we can actually use the jet board itself to get up here. And we don't have to go on foot there. They actually fixed that in the Insane Trilogy. Alright, good. 102 boxes is correct, and then here's our gem. And we're done with the Warp 3 segment, pretty much. We have one more boss fight So this is all warp 1, 2, and 3 completed, so we just have warp 4 and 5, which is probably the hardest part of the game. Next up we have Tiny. This is just an RNG fight. You can mitigate most of the RNG if you're good. Mostly for the final segment. Usually I'm just gonna go over here, and we're just gonna play tag over here. And that is the bulk of the fight. I'm just gonna stand here, hope I get it. Hope I get the right one. Okay, I'll absolutely take that. Alright, that's it. Okay. This is pretty good, I would say. Yeah, pretty good. It's pretty okay. I'll take it. Alright, so just going warp 4 and 5. As I said, have some of the toughest levels back to back to back. It's pretty, and warp 4 is pretty long too. Some of the longest levels. We're going to Ruination first, which kind of just Road to Ruins, more evil brother. It's pretty tough. This has the green gem section, although we don't even use the green gem to access it. But there's a lot of rain in this level, and that causes much more input drops. The game lags a lot more, so we'll be seeing how that works. I'm going to be dying here for this green gem path, so I can have an idea of the cycles. Alright, we got shoes there. Basically, every time I die in a pit, you see shoes. That means, alright. Cool, yeah, it basically delays my death by 1.5 seconds, which is pretty cool. Lock in now, lock in. I should have not talked about shoes during this section. Okay, that was really scary because I didn't get my glitch high, but that was still pretty good. Most of those deaths were at the beginning, so I'll take it. Next up is my least favorite bonus in the game. It's really hard. And both my D-pad makes it really hard to go just straight, because basically there's no walls protecting you. You can just go up to the background and die. So we'll see how this goes. All right, I went way too early there. That's fine. There's actually so many objects that boxes and stuff like to deload. So I like to wait for the TNTs to break. Huge. Okay, that honestly alleviates a lot of stress because this animation is so long of going to and from the bonus, and messing it up at the very end is super costly. Something important for this level is that we want to end with 2 masks. This actually be that one time where we want to have a triple mask is coming up very soon. So I'm going to try and end this level as much as I can with 2 masks. If I don't, I'll have to do a reroute. Alright. Alright, huge. Alright, don't have to reroute. Good. There's 2 different reroutes you can do if you make some mistakes, but I thankfully avoided both of them. Yeah, now that we have 2 masks, we're going to use it in this next level, which is our final sewer level, which is hanging out. The whole gimmick with it is hangrails and triple mask on hangrails is much faster than normal. It's the one time you actually do move faster with triple mask, so we want to be utilizing it here. So we're just going to wait on the welder guy because we don't want to get hit by the flame. We're going to get rid of the whole point. Alright. Alright. So we go pretty slow on these handrails. I'm just gonna wait. Except I'm actually not gonna go on the handrails. There's two different ways of doing it. One's faster, but a little bit harder. However, the harder strat is funnier, so that's what I'll be doing here. All right, good. So it's right here. Triple mask. We just want to be walking here. And instead of going the handrails, we're just gonna. We're just gonna. Alright, huge. Alright. That saves about 10 seconds or so to execution. Over not having masks there. So that's why you can do an entire reroute. I have to skip all my splits if I don't get double mask out of Ruination, because you'll have to get it in other levels. But basically it's to avoid a lot of time loss. Okay, do a cool strat there. Alright, lots of bounces. Huge, okay. Thank God, controller, because I had to work for those. Don't do those right, you die. And it can take a lot. Alright, funny number of boxes. Alright, usually you can do a death abuse here to go back, because there's a secret exit. I wanted to keep both my maps, but I wasn't able to do that. So I'm only going to keep one, which basically is just about even, so I might as well just do it. So the secret exit's down here, but also pretty easy to find. Alright. Played that a little bit safe for the damage abuse, but this will be our second to last secret exit. Takes us to a secret level. I actually will do it first. Usually I will do another level first and then come back here. But I will do this first because it is technically a little bit riskier if I don't. So we have Totally Fly here. So this is another jungle level, but we have a little Firefly friend to help us see. This level actually has some of my favorite like movement in the game, like just movement segments. It's pretty satisfying. There's also a pretty evil part, casually, if anyone remembers this. Yeah, everything after this checkpoint I really like. I like the slide off the mushroom and just a bunch of zigzag NSS. Alright, pretty weird robot cycle things. Right, we have the bonus here. The Firefly moves very slowly, so we're just going to avoid it. See everything in the dark. We know what we're doing. Alright, let me make sure there's 16 boxes broken. Alright, good. I will willingly wait that entire time. Because if you don't, it's not very easy to get back here. That's why I kind of decided to go here first. Just to get out of the way. Because if I do somehow need to re-enter for any reason, I can do so to the next level. Alright, so this level is pretty evil. They tend to just, there's many different ways of going about it, but usually they put all these reinforced crates, so you lose your Firefly when you're done. The way I like to do it is I just like to jump on the terrain over here and skip, because also right after that, it's not just like a smooth shot. They put a ton of hits there on purpose as well, and it's pretty evil. But we got through that level, thankfully unscathed. Alright, next level is going to be Digging It, which is the longest level in the game and probably a lot of people's like least favorite. There is another death route here, and there's a death route with boxes in it, so we need to go down that path, which is always everyone's favorite thing to do. So this is like a mountain level, I guess, so there's these plants that shoot bombs, and inside of a few of them, most shoot in a random direction, so that's fun RNG. There's also a pretty RNG heavy trick if you're at top level that I don't really want to explain right now, rather explain it in another level where it's used. Alright, jump over here, jump between that. Alright. These plants are kind of a nightmare. Alright, we're going to break that checkpoint first, because if we do the bonus first and then break it while the boxes are counting up, those boxes can be gone forever, the ones that aren't back up to the counter. So might as well just break it first. Alright, 22. Okay, good. Alright. So now we're back up to our death route. We don't need the platform, but I will use it for safety. So yeah, there's boxes down here. So these, and then break these boxes right here. Then head back, go back to normal path. Alright. Okay, that did not go by zigzags, so a little bit longer. So these levels also have bees in it. These hives have bees that come after you, make that really loud sound. But we go so fast you hardly see them. Alright, okay, I managed to make that cycle at least. If I didn't make it, I was just going to wait. You can do a glitch high over the gate, which is what I do in runs, but I was not willing to do it here. That's probably one of the worst deaths you can have. It was right before a checkpoint, and that's a really long segment. So I wanted to just avoid that at all costs. Alright, so... can't see. And there's a ton of bomb plants. You have no clue where they're shooting. So just gonna play it as safe as possible. Alright, I need that. Alright, if I die, I have to go re-break those other boxes behind. That's it in this section. We just wanna go all the way back. And we're just gonna walk on the edge here. Yep. So this, 93 is good. There's 95 boxes in this level. Alright, let's see. Oh, I don't know why. I did not notice I have a mask, so I will be introducing here and then dying to this plant. Usually we want to just die to the hammer, but I just completely zoned out. Usually I don't have a mask there. I don't play that safe. Alright, so our final secret exit takes us here. If you pound that plant, since you choose the Road to Ruin entrance that I kept mentioning a while back, how you're supposed to do the level. But you know, we skipped it, so we don't have to worry about it. We're just gonna just re-enter Totally Fly here and then do a pause exit. This will take us back to Warp 4. And now we don't have to worry about secret exits at all. Alright, no pause, it's cool. Now we're nearing the end of this warp room. Next up is Cold Hard Crash, which is a pretty infamous level, but we're going to be completely destroying this. So this has another death route with boxes in it. And the intended way you're supposed to do it is go all the way to the end of the death route and break a switch crate. And then hopefully, wait, hold on, can I get this? Alright, I got most of those boxes with the penguin snipe. Just go all the way to the end of the death route, break it to switch crate, go all the way back and finish the level, and it's pretty tough. It also has the most amount of boxes in this game at 155. We're going to be doing a glitch here, so we're going to skip this checkpoint crate. Actually, would kind of like to break that, right? Break the checkpoint. So by touching the death route platform, if I die, the platform will stay instead of going transparent, which is just an important factor. So we're just going to go on it and break that box and then leave. And then now we're going to do the bonus. So what I'm setting up for right now is a glitch called box duplication. Allows us to completely destroy like the order that you're supposed to do this level. Alright, so pay attention to the middle, top, and bottom of the screen as I fade out here. I'm going to die while the boxes are counting up. And the boxes are going to keep counting up, and my box count stays the same. But the boxes I just broke are back. So I can basically break the same boxes twice. Alright, I got the same like pseudo snipe again, which is good. Alright, so this is actually a level where you can lose a ton of time by dying. Like if you were to die right at this point, those boxes would go away and you would lose about like 2 minutes. Maybe not that much, but close. But now we can break the checkpoint crates. I had 72 boxes after the respawn, so I can skip 3 boxes on my way to the end. We're just going to break that one. There's 2 other ones that I usually skip. Alright, break that. Break that. So yeah, 113. So this section has a lot of ice physics, so not only are you intended to go here forward and back to break that one outline crate right there, but it's also a pretty tough segment. I'm going to go against the invisible wall here, and then just keep pressing right. So you have nitros here, and then this part's the main one. So we have a mask, so we don't have to let it at all. Can we head down? I'm trying to do a TNT slide here. Good. Box is broke. Alright, so I have 150, and there's 5 boxes left. So if I have more than 155, I have 156, then it actually will not give you the gem. You have to have the exact amount, or else the game will not give it to you. So it's important to keep track of your box count. Alright, so that's 155, and we completely destroyed Full Hard Crash, intended. It's pretty neat. Alright. Honestly, this has been a great Warp 4 for me. Usually this is where I lose a lot of time. But we have one more level here, which is behaving. This has our final purple gem, which is the final of the colored gems. And there's a lot more bees in this level. So instead of having like 1 bee per hive, it's like the whole hive is coming after you. But it doesn't really matter too much. Just a lot of more movement. Alright, well, those nitros have a pretty big hitbox for some reason. Gonna try and do a pretty cool strat here. I might die. Alright. Cool, alright. That was pretty risky of me, but I wanted to do it. Alright. So I gotta check my box count here. The boxes were broken. So there's a pretty suspicious stack of nitros there that aren't hopping. So we should go investigate that. And it takes us to our secret exit. This is probably the hardest part of the game, for sure. But they put the purple gem right here, so we can just skip the whole thing. Makes me think about, like, they probably intentionally made it so you can keep your items on death. And if you keep note of that, you're rewarded by having to skip the hardest part of the game. Right, this is not really how I like to do this. Oh god, what is happening? Alright, okay, we're good. Yeah, so those nitros like hop back and forth and it affects the boxes on top, and that is also random as well, and you can get some pretty funny results where some boxes can just go completely into the sky. It's pretty humorous. Alright. This final beehive can be a little bit of a problem, but if we just keep on jumping, it actually does not, like, it delays spawning the bees, so I can just go ahead and break that. The game lags a whole ton after you break those, and then we get to the end of the level. Alright, that was almost Warp 4, I guess. We have one more boss. We have Dr. Engine next. Probably the most involved fight. Actually, pretty cool. Instead of just waiting around, you have to shoot his mech parts with the Wumpa Fruit. First part is going to be the arms, which is going to be 10 per hit. I'm going to try and do this as well as I can. There's like a rhythm to shooting these Wumpa. Once again, not getting the final hit. It's fine. The reason why you want to break those all at the same time, because you don't have to wait for the animation, of course, but it also like gives them a little bit more health than they would have. Like that was like 1 hit away, but I had to hit it multiple more times. Next to shoulders, which is 5. Alright, 1-3, pretty good. So it both goes at the same time, so I don't have to wait for it twice. This last section you can do in one cycle, but I will not be doing that because I would like to not lose a minute. Alright. Alright, I have warp 5. I'm doing a different route than I'm used to, because there's a level I want to get out of the way first, because there's a chance it might crash if I do it correctly. Or if I do the trick correctly, then the level follow could crash. So we're actually going to level 24 pack attack first. So this is a frame perfect trick, but you can pause buffer it. I'm still not good at it. Let's see. This is a jetpack level. Oh, huge. All right, got it. So this is packless. So instead of using the jetpack, we're going to be doing a level on foot. So the game is pretty unstable at this point. There's a lot of things that can make the game crash because there's no animations loaded. Mostly it's not getting electrocuted. If you get electrocuted, you're kind of out of luck. So these wires over here, I'm just going to play extremely safe, move out of the way. And if you do level like the movement here correctly, it saves a lot of time over using the jetpack, and it's pretty cool when done right. I've not been doing this right. If you go too fast that section, the game can crash as well, so that's why you gotta just wait. Alright, well, got damage reduced there. Alright, so are you guys ready for a magic trick? Don't blink. Alright, so I'm really not sure how that works exactly, but basically when that final target platform loads where crash usually goes on foot, I guess the game assumes if you are on foot you would be on that platform, so it shoots you all the way over there. And thankfully you're able to grab the crystal on your way over there and get the gem. I'm glad to have gotten packless and not crashed. So now we're going to be doing Distant Away. This is a level that is just literally just pure cycles. I think I can catch up with the cycle here. Although if I die, I lose a lot of time. It's another, guess what, death route with boxes in it. I'm literally just going to shut up and do what I need to do here. Alright, I'm a little behind. I'm just going to wait. It's better just wait on the cycle. We only lose this 4. Ooh, I went way too early. That's fine. We're just gonna wait. I just had one less mass than I normally did. Oh my god! Oh, I went too early again. I keep thinking I'm on the cycle. Actually, pretty scary. Alright, because of that, I'm going to play this bonus extremely safe. I'm not playing around. I want to do a really cool strat here, the way it's done. Yes, forgive me. I'll take it if they don't die. The cycle, I'm slightly unsure. I'll play this safe. So we actually kind of want to wait a little bit here. Oh my goodness. Okay, I did not zigzag fast enough. Okay, that's a little unfortunate. So if you die, you have to get the death route. You have to, you don't touch it. Again, it goes away if you die, so you have to redo the whole level. That's pretty fun. I'll now try my best to do the levels as fast as possible. Alright, I didn't make it, so I gotta wait again. This is the hardest level in the game, for sure. Once again behind. much. Alright. I almost messed up again. Alright, bonus time. At least if this goes fine, I'll accept the death. It means I can show off the actual the bonus. The bonus is really cool, right? I'm gonna break this box. I'm gonna go all the way back. Touch the death rep platform, it's there for good, so we will not be losing additional minutes. Although we can still lose quite a few here if I don't get to this next checkpoint. So we're just gonna bounce on the shield guy to just basically go up to the top there. That was piston. Yeah, I'll accept that death. That was a pretty big death. That was probably about minute 45, maybe a little bit more. Next level is going to be Rocket. So this is our second jetpack level, but we're actually going to be doing the jetpack this time. So the trick that I just did, basically, without getting into the specifics, it's a lot more unstable in this level. It's a lot easier to crash. You can't do that trick that where I grab the crystal and then zip it again. Because basically, you can't grab the crystal. You can do the whole level backwards. You have to die, and it's pretty. It only saves a little bit of time even if you do it, so no one really has 100%. The jetpack controls is pretty simple. We're just going to fly forward. Really not too much to say. So next up we have is Spaced Out. This is the last level of the game. So traditionally, so the secret gem here is a gem path with every color gem, all 5. So there is a pretty tight cycle you can make for all the stuff that's in it. It's one of the only things I actually know how to do that's pretty top level. So I'm just gonna shut up and do it. Okay, I did not get what I wanted. That's and then we're gonna die. So this is the second time reloading the level. I actually have to die again because it makes my spawn faster. Let's see. For some reason, the second time you spawn in the level, the time you have is slower. I was pretty slow in this cycle. I gotta actually I gotta book it. Or didn't get my angle. That's fine. So this is pretty hard. Like I spent countless hours learning this one specific trick. Oh, camera didn't move. Okay. Gotta keep moving. Ugh. This is like the most nerve-wracking part until the end, to be honest. Oh my goodness. Ugh. It's like hard to go slow too. Like you can't really like sandbag this as hard as you can some other cycles. I could try. I would like to give it one more shot. Play it safe. Good enough. That's a little unfortunate for sure. But we should be relatively smooth sailing to the end now. What have I got? We head back. They have an extra mask to use. If you die like 5 times, you get a mask, which is pretty neat. We're gonna go up to the top again, just to avoid everything. Okay, I did not go far enough. Yeah, the slide is pretty neat, but it's kind of unnecessary. I just wanted to show it off. You need to reach certain cycles. Man, I cannot get my right angles right now. Yep. I shouldn't have said anything. I am going a little bit. Okay. More spin bounces coming up. Alright, we have more cycles at the end of this level. I do have a mask. They do give you a mask here, which is nice. I don't normally damage this, but... Alright. Alright, we're free. Woof. Definitely threw quite a lot of time there. Glad I'm not being able to look at my splits to see. But we got one more level to go, and then the run is donezo. Alright, we got Night Fight next. This is like the first, I guess it's technically the first level you do that has the Firefly in it. And that's pretty much it. It's just speed movement. Probably the least interesting 1-5 level. But it doesn't mean it's not difficult. See, there's another death route with more boxes. However, it's not that big of a deal. We have to go back and grab the death route anyway. Or the death route gem, rather. Very cool. Didn't break that box. Right. Yep. Then go to the, if you go to the back side of, or the, I guess the front side of that grass area, you can actually just like slide completely underneath those nitros. That's fine. We don't really need the mask. Alright, so now we're at the end of the path. Gotta get our gem and our 2 boxes. It's only 2, and it's only these 2 right here. So it's not too bad. Alright. Safe. Grab the firefly. There is one pit right here. We are mostly good. All right. Oh, coming back. All right, that's our final gem. All right, so time's coming up fairly soon. It's gonna be, this fight, unfortunately, is very anticlimactic. It's about like 30 seconds long. And literally all you gotta do is hit Cortex 3 times with a spin, and on the 3rd spin it'll be time. All right, so I can't hold, don't want to hold anything. Going into the fight. Yeah, so what do we have? All right. Yeah. So when it's like sort of close. All right, we got 2. Alright, coming up very, very shortly. And time.
No! You haven't seen the last of me, Crash Bandicoot!
That is good enough for me. You know, a little bit. So when I submitted this run, I definitely should have given myself a higher estimate because my thought process is I would be a lot better. But this game is pretty hard. That spaced out definitely hurt quite a bit. But that was Crash 2 100%. So this is an 80% cutscene actually, because the only way to do that is by watching the cutscene. But I only do that. I don't know if y'all want to do that. I know we're doing on scheduling, but yeah, sounds good. All right. So thank y'all so much for watching. Please go watch like World Record and like the tasks if you like thought a little bit of this was impressive, because it's even more so when you have actual like great players doing it, and just the Crash games in general are just so awesome. I'm glad I'll be able to play it here today. It was fun. I was able to get a bit PB for the first time in over a year yesterday, so it was worth the D-Rust for it. All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Go ahead. Yeah.